Sony constantly pumps out remakes and remasters of games that really don't need them, and of course, when it comes to The Last of Us, there have been so many iterations. As you can see, there was The Last of Us on PS3, The Last of Us Remastered on PS4, The Last of Us 2 on PS4, The Last of Us 2 Enhanced PS5, Last of Us Part 1 PS5, Last of Us Part 2 Remastered PS5, and now The Last of Us Complete for the PS5, and they are getting absolutely roasted for this. There are so many amazing games that have been created that deserve remakes and remasters now. I'm personally someone who's getting sick and tired of seeing everything modernized and rebooted because companies can't hire people who are actually creative. Though, we don't need constant remakes and remasters of one or two games, and I think that it's time that they move on from this. But they are getting raked across the coals by gamers for this decision because they're marketing this pretty heavily. They think that it's going to make them money, but all it really does is give people another reason to point and laugh at them. Naughty Dog's last three releases were The Last of Us Part 2. Y'all can't be serious right now. I know that Naughty Dog is busy working on Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet. Maybe that will come out and it will actually be good, but if that doesn't go well for them, I think Naughty Dog's pretty cooked at this point. I just don't think that a lot of people are going to give them another chance after this because they really don't care about providing new quality entertainment. They just care about pushing the agendas they want, and they only really care about making a quick buck. Now, this is partially because of Sony, but it also is because of Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog, this is The Last of Us. Naughty Dog, this is the 7th year in a row you've shown The Last of Us in class. Like, we get it. You guys are proud of what you've created, and The Last of Us 1 was fantastic in my opinion, but Last of Us 2 was a major disappointment, and it seems that they just wanted another Last of Us product to release at the same time as the TV show Season 2. How many times are y'all gonna re-release the same damn game? Give it 2 years and Sony will release The Last of Us Complete Remastered. It's so funny because they've even outdone companies like Bethesda, who constantly remaster and repackage the same games over and over, like Skyrim. How many different editions of Skyrim have we gotten for how many different platforms? I know that you have a game that sells and you want to make as much money off of it as possible, but you have to draw the line somewhere. Sony is completely out of ideas and they're basically going to milk the cash cow that is The Last of Us. It's just disappointing that instead of working on another game or making a new series and having them be smaller releases, they're doing this. Like, they, yes, have Intergalactic the Heretic Prophet as their next large AAA game. They could still make smaller scale games in between these massive development time periods. They could have a smaller team working on some kind of new IP that's maybe fun and lighthearted or kind of back to their roots, but instead they just keep releasing remakes and remasters, and it's just not sitting well with people anymore. The first two or three times people were like, okay, Last of Us 1 was a great game, we'll let it slide, and then yeah, you're going to want to re-release a game on the new consoles, but as time has gone on, they've only gotten more and more greedy and been wrecked for it. I mean, they canceled The Last of Us Factions, but yet they're still milking this franchise with entries we don't really need here. I wish we would see the last of them already. Are all 7 games included in this collection? They're trying to reset any price drops with frequent re-releases. The problem with that is, well, first, most of the people that want to play those games already have, and second, even if they could make some money that way, it still takes up resources and a slot in their release schedule, which is definitely true. Yes, you want to make a game accessible to as many people as possible, but they need to understand that they could just let the price drop and maybe more people would purchase it that way, because if you can't get someone to purchase a Last of Us 1 remastered for $60, then you're not going to get them to buy the collection on a PS5 for, at this price, $110. That's just not going to go over well with people. And if you can't get them to buy one, you probably can't get them to buy the other. So right now they are getting wrecked by gamers who are just calling out their greedy BS. And I think that it is hilarious to see, because The Last of Us 2 was a major disappointment. I have no trust or faith in Naughty Dog at this point in time, and it's very clear that the sentiment with them has shifted over the years, where a lot of people people really don't either. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.